Hey, I'm Rob Adler, and welcome to Understanding Upstate, the podcast dedicated to exploring what makes upstate New York such a unique place. Each week, my co-host Jim Search and I dive into a new upstate topic to better understand what's up upstate. And this week, we are fording the mighty Susquehanna. Jim, I always fuck it up.
It is a short A. In upstate New York, it would be a short A.
Susquehanna.
The Susquehanna River.
Susquehanna. All right.
We upstate are very heavy on the short A's.
This week we are fording the mighty Susquehanna. Did I do it right? We'll never know. Oh, I did. All right.
No, you did.
And this is all a long preamble to say we will be visiting Murphy's Island. I'm very excited to talk about this little piece of land.
And there's some stuff going on there, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I don't want to ruin this up top, but just know that as a native Binghamtonian, this was a big discovery for me within the last year. I had no idea this existed.
Oh wow! Okay, so there wasn't like local legends or anything. This is just like a new.
Well, let me say this: if there was, or if there is, I didn't hear about it.
Right.
They very well.
It was occupied when you lived in Binghamton. That's like it wasn't. It is now, I believe, abandoned. So I think that's
right.
It was in use.
It was rocking.
Yeah,
the island was rocking
for sure.
And we'll get into we've got plenty of island talk.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
For
island
sure.
Vibes today, as they say.
I mean, if only they were the vibes that y'all they're not the vibes you think of when it comes to islands. I'll put it to you like that.
There's a lot of hot tubs, Jim. I don't know. Well, we'll get there. Anyway, before we get there, you should subscribe, rate, and review this show. If you love podcasts where one of the hosts absolutely butchers the intro several times, guys, you're in the right place. So make sure you do those things. Give us a 5-star rating, write us a positive review, and you can toss in a subject for a future episode, and we'll cover it. That's the place to get those recommendations in. You can also email us at understandingupstate@gmail.com. We appreciate correspondence there as well. And you know what? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, you know what else? I didn't know. You were on a tear.
That's true.
I fucked that up.
I was about to lose steam. So it's, you know what, Jim? Take it away. Take it away.
Sure. Well, I was going to say, you know what else is, there is a place you can go, Speedy Freaks and Rattlesnake Pete's, for all of your shopping needs. Understandingupstate.printful.me is a place to be when it comes to your clothing. We have merch on deck. There's a selection of t-shirts that you need. Yeah, a cornucopia of shirt that you deserve. And I want you to buy every last one of them, folks.
I mean, it's available currently in unlimited quantities. So, hey, if you buy every last one, I don't know if I'm going to be continuing this podcast.
No.
I'm going to be doing okay, but go buy a few. Go buy a few.
Buy it. Run it up, man. Get all your money, dude.
Well, Jim, we're not running today. We're swimming on over to Murphy's Island. Should we get to it?
I think we should. We should.
Let's do it. Okay, so Murphy's Island is privately owned. I just want to put that up there. If you are curious and you are in Broome County, don't go there. It's privately owned. Don't go there.
Yeah. Unless you are the owner, then
sure.
To it, but.
Sure, I guess. Anyway, it is in the Susquehanna. All right. There we go. I'm learning.
Mhm.
Susquehanna River, situated between Vestal and Endwell, New York, which are on opposite sides of the river. Famous for its unique history, including its original owner, Bob Murphy, who built a home there and installed a cable car system for access, which is all still there. However, the structure is now deteriorated after a flood in 2011, making it a local point of interest known for scenic beauty, fishing, and unique river island life, with access discouraged as its private property, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Bob Murphy and what led him to build a home on this island. The company Bob Murphy Inc. was started in 1949 by Robert S. Murphy as a topsoil and gravel firm. In 1981, the firm expanded into the steel fabrication business, owing to necessity to build a floating sand and gravel dredge for an affiliated company, Barney and Dickinson Inc. As the dredge neared completion, they were able to utilize the same equipment to accommodate the specialized needs of local businesses. In recent years, they have added staff and equipment to increase their fabricating capabilities and to enhance the quality of service provided to their customers. In 2005, their 52,000 square foot warehouse was completed and is now stocked for steel sales. Bob Murphy owned a couple different businesses. I think some of them are owned by different people now. Bob Murphy Inc. still exists, and it is what is on the other side of the cable car system. It's what leads to the island. So a very short commute. Very short commute for Bob to work, but that factory is what's on the other side. Just to learn a little bit more about Bob, and again, he was very active in selling gravel, which is going to be a theme that comes up with an island we're going to talk about a little bit later. A lot of gravel pit dudes trying to buy islands in the area because they have gravel on them.
Yeah.
So,
believe it or not, in my light skimming for some of this stuff, there are islands for sale for $15,000.
Yeah.
If you want one, it could be yours in the Susquehanna.
God, you know what, Jim? Let's calculate how many T-shirts we need to sell to buy one of those islands, and let's start saving.
Could you? Yeah, I mean, I feel like when we get there, we do a live podcast from the island.
Oh, absolutely!
Y'all ain't ready for that.
I got remote equipment. We can do it. I got an inflatable kayak that's rated for 2 people. Not 2 people our size, but 2 people nonetheless. So we could figure it out.
Yeah, it could come together. It could come together.
For sure. Okay, so this is a little bit of bridge from Robert's or Bob's obituary. Bob served in the United States Navy during World War II and took pride in seeing the Endicott War Memorial erected with his generous donations. He also belonged to the American Legion post-89 and Veterans of Foreign Wars. Known as Murph, he had an eccentric lifestyle, moving on to his beloved island home in the Susquehanna River in the early 1960s, where his family collected many happy memories. He accomplished much, became a self-made businessman by adhering to old-fashioned hard work, perseverance, and determination. Wouldn't it be nice if that still was a thing?
Yeah. I mean, it would be pretty cool to if you just worked hard, then things would happen for you.
That'd be cool. Well, anyway, Bob was founder and president of Bob Murphy Inc., which he began with modest means, excavating and delivering topsoil to local construction jobs. Shortly, this expanded into the concrete business when he acquired Barney and Dickinson, which we talked about a little bit earlier, in the early 70s. Bob continued with his projects, establishing a steel fabrication division in the 80s to support his own demand for steel products. His goal always to be dependent on himself, which makes sense for a man who wants to live on an island,
Right. I feel like he was a pretty self-contained unit.
Yeah.
Old Murph dog.
Mm-hmm. His unusual vision, tenacity, and witty sense of humor will be forever missed and remembered by family and friends whose lives he touched. He lived his life by the following poem, which he never had far from his sight, and which I will, of course, be reading, Jim. You don't get full poems in obituaries very often.
Yeah,
the
y'all
poem,
better get these poems.
Poem being called, oh man, I should have had you do it in your classic arrhythmic recitation, but I won't put you on the spot. I
appreciate that.
All right, here it goes. Never give up. I hope we all, please feel inspired, everyone. Never give up when things seem wrong. Day always follows right after dawn. The sun always shines soon after rain. The heart is made glad right after pain. Diamonds are hidden and hard to find, but the tranquil heart is the peace of mind. So if your task seems hard today, remember, where there is a will, there is always a way. And where there is an island, there is someone who paid. Eh?
Yeah.
I don't know. Speaking of islands, Jim, let's talk about the island now, shall we?
Oh, my goodness. I am excited to talk about this, as we were talking a little bit before the pod here. I do have some extensive experience with the islands of the Susquehanna, so it is a very full circle moment in so many ways to be on this podcast, speaking about some islands, which I'll get into my island life a little bit later on. But for now, let's talk about Murph Dog's Island and what he had going on there. The materials to build the house came to the island on small ships. The land was apparently not claimed by the United States, so it made it easy to acquire the island, which, very American to not to have land within it and be like, oh shit, you know what? We forgot. Our bad. So Bob was like, you know what? I'm going to make this mine. And now it will be Murphy's Island. It's a very small island on the Susquehanna River. You can see the island from a side street off Prentice Road in Vestal. It is also visible from Harold Moore Park and visible if you boat or kayak there. Makes sense. There are 5 bedrooms, all containing a hot tub. I'm getting a real Biff Tannen vibe from Back to the Future too.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
I can see. I don't want to paint Murph in a picture of like a Biff. You know what I mean? But just there's a mental imagery of the layout.
This was built in the 60s too. I got to imagine this is like the hot tub is a brand spanking new thing. Like, let's put one in every room, man.
Sure. I got
put one
the
of
money.
These
bitches everywhere, man. I got the
Oh
bread.
my God, the heating bill for that place? Can you imagine?
Oh, 5 hot tubs.
Jesus Christ.
That's going to be doing it.
I got to imagine there's at least a couple conversation pits in this home too, you know? At least 2, at least.
The floor plan was not flat. It took 2 or 3 steps from room to room. There was a whole dining hall with a reproduction of the Liberty Bell and a full kitchen.
Okay.
You know what? As said in the obituary, eccentric guy.
Yeah, rules.
It had restrooms connected to it, not bathrooms. Full-blown restrooms with stalls.
Whoa, that's great. Oh, man, you got options. That rules.
Yeah, he really had his way with the island here.
Yeah.
There was also a cable car that ran over the Susquehanna River that connected the island to the mainland. There was a dining hall with stainless steel kitchen and restrooms. Now, we are going to talk a little bit about the Western Broome River Trail. Running.
This is from Jim. This is pulled from a map.
This is
I found a map that referenced. It has like an entire. It must have been. I think it was close to like 10 pages. Like a map fold out pamphlet that I found as a PDF. Mentioning the island, which has some interesting facts.
I did see that, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I let it go, but I'm glad that you picked it up, or at least were able to pull a little bit from it. And this is what we call journalism here, folks.
Yeah.
The working waterway, an interesting section of river that highlights the history of the area. The water's edge along the segment consists of a mix of suburban uses, including residential neighborhoods, as well as commercial and industrial activities, making this section most attractive to those who want to take in scenery with a bit more activity and variety.
Ah, yes, I want that picturesque suburban river life.
Sure, as Murph had for many years, collected a lot of memories.
Yeah.
Some of the sites you might see along this route include the historic Vestal Endicott Bridge, runners and bikers along the Chugnut Trail, and Murphy's Island, the only home located on a river island in the county. Private property. Do not stop.
Yeah, you can't give us a cool fact like that. And it's like, oh, by the way, you can't go there, though. That's pretty cool.
Don't fuck with it.
Only private home on an island in the entire county. Oh, sorry, River Island. Specifically River Island. There's probably some Lake Island homes.
Sure, but this one is on the river.
It's a one of one for the county.
Sure. None before it, none to come. As you travel through the latter part of this stretch, you will see the prominent Round Top Hill on the right before heading to your final stop at Griffin Park. This stretch of river is well known for its distinct Native American history on both sides of the waterway. Now Endicott and Vestal, this area was once home to the Chugnut settlement, a group comprised of individuals from many local tribes under the Iroquois Nation. Be prepared to carry your vessel a short distance from the parking area at the starting point, but exiting at Griffin, there is a convenient pull up for direct loading.
Be prepared to carry your vessel to Vestal. Got it.
Hey, Rob, it doesn't end.
No,
it's not.
It never
it's not
will.
End.
It never will.
Nah. You got to keep on doing this for the people.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Now, you have done some very diligent diving into the Reddit universe about this island.
It's true.
And with that being said, please tell us more about what's going on.
All right. So one of the most prominent things you'll find is this Reddit thread when searching for more information about Murphy's Island. And I would say this is the definitive source, actually. Because again, kind of like we were talking about earlier, it was a private home until 2004 when Bob died. And presumably it was still, again, I think it was kept up until about 2011 when this flood happened. So presumably we have some family members who are still taking care of it. Again, it's across a short distance in the river to the factory. So it's, it's there. People have eyes on it, right? And it's, I think, kind of more fallen into being a local oddity in the last decade, probably, right? And therefore, we are now, this is a thread that's only 10 months old. So now we're, you've got people looking for information about it now. As opposed to at any point in history. I was in the newspaper archives, couldn't find anything referencing this. Definitely found tons of ads for the gravel business and the city saying that he quoted them for projects and stuff, but nothing about this island. So this is really a significant find.
Well, and I think in part what may have brought some more people to it is that there's an Instagram account, 607 Promotions, which does some really great stuff for the Triple Cities. They put a post up about this island, and that's how I found out about it, was through them, and said, holy shit, there is just a house on an island? That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that there are some folks who, in light of this Instagram post, also have driven some traffic to this Reddit.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's learn a little bit more.
Yeah, let's go.
Again, from r/Binghamton, the thread starts with, hello, Bobby Murphy was my cousin, the owner of Murphy's Island. Ask me questions and tell me anything you may know. I've been to the island when he was living. So this is an AMA with Bob Murphy's cousin Murphy.
Sure.
Pretty crazy. This is
AMA.
the stuff that hyper local podcasters dream of. It's great. All right. So the first comment is from a user in Endwell, saying that someone posted drone footage of the cable car and house a few years back, and this is on YouTube. Again, this is if you're looking online. This is another main thing you'll find. Go look at it because you'll get an idea of the house. The crazy thing is how industrial the cable car is. Like, it's a big piece of machinery that they have for this, and it's we'll learn more about it as we talk, but it's like it'll give you a full picture of just how small an island we're talking about, but how big a house we're talking about too, right? Let's see. First comment from the cousin. It seemed so much larger to me the times I visited. I feel like you could get lost in the house. Fun place to explore while the adults did their catching up and storytelling. And then we got a user asking, is the gondola system working? And is it potentially possible to visit the island with proper permission? From the cousin, I do not know. There was not a gondola when I visited in the 90s. It was a cable car with benches on each side and open on each seat end. Okay, I need to editorialize. I believe this cousin actually is from Ireland, and a gondola can mean two things. One, it can mean a like a pulley system cart, or it can be a boat, right? Like in Venice, right?
Italy.
I can't remember if I'm getting the right city, but like you got your boat gondolas, and you have your sky gondolas. I think this guy was. We're getting confused on the words, but they're all talking about the same thing, right? Cable car system, gondola, same diff. His obituary only mentions a son, but I never met the son. Only twin girls who he said were his. Okay, my grandmother and great aunt used to yell across the bay, and I knew he couldn't hear us. The house was amazing, and he never acted like a person with money. Our family is from Limerick, Ireland. He was my cousin, but much older than I.
Now, were you able to catch that? Did you know that he was? Well, you knew because when you put this in there that this guy would be from Ireland.
Like from reading it, yeah.
Got it.
And when I got to this part, it's like, what are you talking about? There's been a cable car the whole time, or a gondola, but like I've again figured like, oh, he's probably thinking the boat type of gondola.
Right.
All right. Then he keeps talking. I remember at least 5 bedrooms, all containing a hot tub, like we talked about. You had to take 2 or 3 steps from room to room. There was a whole dining hall with a reproduction Liberty Bell, full kitchen, restrooms connected to it, not bathrooms. Full-blown restrooms with stalls. An aunt had an old farmhouse in Pennsylvania. He would come to see us if we couldn't visit him, and these old people, 60 years plus, would jump into the pond and surface, then float on their backs. No one believes me about any of this, but I have the pictures of myself in the house and on the cable car over the Susquehanna River holding on for dear life. And then you have a user saying, it still works. As of last summer, I was fishing near the area, walked down from Moore Park, and all of a sudden I hear a cranking sound overhead, and there's a guy 15 feet above me on the gondola. Just gave him a wave and went on with my fishing.
So, awesome. Yeah, there is a steward who is holding down the fort there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Again, like, I mean, if you work at the Bob Murphy company, hey, go take your lunch break on the island, man. Take the gondola over. Why the hell not?
Relax,
great. Yeah. All right. We have a user asking, what inspired him to build the house on the island? What was the construction process like? Has it had any flooding issues? He passed away.
Before I will say, I do want to jump in here real quick. As far as the name of the user. Miriam's Halal Addict. Now, Miriam's Halal is located on Main Street in downtown Binghamton, and is I want to say they are part of, or maybe they might be the competition to Kennedy Fried Chicken. So there is, I do want to give a shout out to Miriam's Halal Addict. If you are listening, great name. Anyway,
that's awesome.
I digress.
How is it though? Is it good?
Oh yeah, it rips pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
I've definitely had it when I've had time to kill before the bus and there was nothing open to eat in downtown Binghamton on a Sunday. I have gone to Miriam's and torn up some really unhealthy food. So
sounds great.
Now they go hard.
Well, all right. So let's let's get back to Murphy's Island. Again, what inspired him to build the house? What's the construction process? And has it had any flooding issues? Response from Cousin Murphy. He passed away almost 20 years ago. I used to question how the materials to build the house got to the island. And from what I've been told, it was small ships which resembled barges. Again, like, hey, you probably put 2 small barges and you have a bridge over. It's not a big stretch of the river. The land was apparently not claimed by the U.S., so it made it easy to acquire. What inspired him? No idea. Seemed like a regular guy when I was around him. Someone you would bump into at your local big box store and have no idea that he had money. And it has flooded at least twice since he passed. My grandmother gave up on life when he and her niece both passed.
Jeez.
Oh gosh.
That's a strong share right there.
Yeah, dude. I swam with him. Well, tried to swim. My aunt and my adopted father in the mountains of Pennsylvania. We are from the county Limerick and settled in Newark Valley outside of Binghamton and Endicott. I'm one of the first born in the South with the move of IBM. Okay.
All right.
Let's see. Someone mentions that there's a site called nyslandmarks.com/Murphy. Has a site with a bunch of pictures, which are pretty cool. It does show a lot of the destruction from the floods and just the wear of time, like, you know, and
right.
The building sits unused. It's gonna start to break down. And they're great. Go check those pictures out. If you want to look at the interior, this is the cousin responding. Love it. I remember it in its prime. There was a dining hall, a stainless steel kitchen and restrooms, the gaming hall, and at least 4 or 5 bedrooms with hot tubs. Most rooms had a step or 2. We've been down this road, sir. I was still single digit age running around the house. The cable car scared me to death. The river seemed 100 feet below you, and it swayed as you traveled over. Yikes. I think one final comment from the cousin. My grandmother and my great aunt one time were standing on the side where his construction company was, hollering at the island to get his attention. This is before cell phones. My grandfather looked at me and said he is never going to hear them, but Bobby knew we were coming and eventually came over. So yeah, you just holler at Bobby from across the way so you can get that cable car going.
Send the cable car over. I want to drink on the island.
Yeah.
I want to talk this and that.
Mm-hmm. So that's all the information I could find on Murphy's Island and Bob. I didn't put this in our notes. I found one other reference to Bob on a Facebook group where someone was recounting a dinner they had with him where he's talking about various skeletons he had found as he ran a gravel pit.
Sure.
And the different speculations around them. I didn't feel the need to include that, but that information, if you want to dig deeper, it's out there for you to find. Speedy Freaks and Rattlesnake Pete's.
You get in there.
Yeah. Let's just say it's maybe makes Bob a more complicated figure if the story's true.
I mean, it could explain why he got all that money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There were certain things that weren't illegal at the time. That's all I'll say. Again, it's all speculative.
Allegedly.
All speculative. Retold by someone who says, "Hey, don't take my word for it. This is just a dinner I had with Bob."
Sprinkle allegedly all over that one there, folks.
Mm-hmm. Well, this isn't a rumor, Jim. We are moving on to a different island for our next little discussion here. Again, want to give shed some light on another major island in this river. This one's in Tioga County, though, so a little bit of ways away. Can you tell us about the history of Hiawatha Island, Jim?
I will. Before I get there, though, I do want to jump in. I would like to
a cannonball, if you will.
I'd love to get into the world of islands that do exist a little bit south of there, in Broome County on the Susquehanna. There's an island that I used to go to, me and a couple other Binghamtonians, not just me exclusively. There were other Binghamtonians as well that. We would go over there and build forts and drink and smoke and do all sorts of wild shit. And to get to the island, you actually could just walk across the dam to get there, because the river would be low enough that you were able to make the sojourn across the island.
How narrow of a dam are we talking?
I want to say it was like maybe like 10 feet wide.
Oh, so okay. Like, it's not too much of an issue if you have one too many Jenny Cream ales and you gotta make the tightrope walk back. 10 feet's a wide berth.
Yeah, you were gonna be all right.
Okay.
Now, over the dam, there was some water that would like splash up from that as it rolled over the dam. Mm-hmm. You didn't want to get caught in that, because you would get fucked up and probably drowned. But luckily, nobody that I know got caught up in that. And there were some good times. Swam up in that river. I've swam in the Susquehanna a few times. I might explain why I am the way I am today.
Sure.
Just now in retrospect about why all that came to be.
I think we talked about maybe Kodak polluting that, or
sure.
I don't know. Well, hey, that's in a different episode. You can go learn about that.
I will say I would not do it today.
Yeah.
I would not be jumping in the Susquehanna at this point in my life, but I do want to shout out the island located right across from Lord's Hospital parking lot, in the back of that area.
When you and your buddies are like talking about going to the island, was there a name for it, or just like, hey, we're going to island?
Oh, it was just called the island.
That's almost cooler, you know?
Because we all knew what it was. And I can like still see it like in my mind. I can tell you. I could probably still get there if I needed to. If my life depended on it and I needed to get over to that island, I could definitely do it.
Sure.
Probably not in the winter. I would die. But summertime, I could get there.
All right.
So that is the island in Broome County, but we are talking about Hiawatha Island.
Let's do it.
In the stream of history, and this comes to us from Ithaca.com, Hiawatha Island wasn't easy to live on. The Candor Historical Society welcomed Tioga County historian Emma Cedor to speak about Hiawatha Island for its last historic talk of the year. The island is located 3 miles east of the village of Owego. It is 112 acres and was mostly used for farming. Cedar said that people were born, raised, married, and died there. And there were some happy things and not so happy things that occurred there. Very vague, but
that sounds like, historian being as general as possible.
Just leaving that out there. One of the most famous stories around the island featured John Rockefeller and his brother, who lived across the river from the island in Owego. Rockefeller would tell a story of skating at night near the island. His mother told him never to skate out there in the dark. But one night, he and his brother snuck out to skate in the dark. Not following the rules. While out there, he heard a call of help, help. Turns out, another boy had come out to go ice skating and fell through the ice. Rockefeller saved the boy, but when he came home all wet in the middle of the night, his mother told him he was a very good boy for helping save the other boy's life. But he said she punished him soundly. You did the right thing, but rules are rules, kid. And I got to go upside your head a few times.
And that's why Rockefeller never did a nice thing again in his life.
Nope. And became a certified villain. Cedar said the original occupants of the land were probably Cayugas or Onondagas, who were native to Owego. Years ago, Binghamton University archaeology students came back with pottery shards and some arrowheads. However, they didn't uncover any burials on the island. Cedar moved on to 1874, the most flamboyant part of the island's history. A group of businessmen in Owego thought, quote, "If we build a steamboat, we can take people up and around Big Island," as it was called back then. The steamboat named the Owego did tours around the island, and it was built on the banks of the village of Owego. Eventually, people wanted to get off and have a picnic. To build on this, Joe DeWitt set up a small restaurant, Hiawatha's Wigwam. Jesus Christ.
I don't know about that name.
My God. All right, Joe. And small dance hall in 1874. In 1876, the group was thinking about building a hotel. A steamboat named the Lyman Truman, with 4 decks that could carry 700 passengers, was built on the shores of the village of Owego to accommodate the increase in traffic. The boat could go all the way down to Binghamton.
Woo!
Well, what more do you need? As they allowed dredging of the Susquehanna in those days.
Which is, I remember, I forget what Binghamton episode it was. I think maybe the tobacco factory, right?
Right.
And I saw pictures of downtown Binghamton with a picture of a big ass steamboat.
Sure.
In the river, and I was like, where were these things coming from? Now we know, and it's not possible anymore because the you can't dredge up the river, which makes sense. There's not room to accommodate that large of a boat anymore, which was interesting for me. I'd been wondering for like a year. So hey, full circle.
It's a moment.
Indeed. Well, let's continue to talk about this moment in time for Hiawatha Island, shall we? In 1876, DeWitt suffered a heart attack, and because he was such a beloved personality around the island, Cedar believes they named the island after his restaurant. This was also the year that the hotel was built and also named the Hiawatha. In 1887, the island was purchased with the intent to turn it into a health resort. They wanted to put up medicinal fountains, which made different ailments, quote, feel better. They also planned to sell different late 1880s miracle cures and snake oils. Well, that's what Rockefeller's dad did. So,
right.
It's in the air and around Owego.
The grift is strong.
Indeed. But in 1888, the new owners decided to close the island down. Everyone had expected them to build a bridge and put in the health resort, but they did nothing of the sort, though they did enlarge and beautify the house, which is now just stones and foundation. The island went up for sale in 1900 and was bought for $11,000. That's pretty...
Which is probably like $3.4 million by today's standard. But
absolutely. While the family that lived there had children, they quickly found living on an island not to be ideal for their children's education. On the school days, they had to cross over on a boat, or in the winter, cross over on the ice. The island was next sold to become a Bible camp.
Tracks.
Yeah. It was later sold to Dwight Decker after he died attempting to swim back to the island. Oh, no. His widow sold all but a 2-acre plot she was living on. Campers would stay on the island during the time it was owned by Decker, but in 1922, one of the Boy Scouts staying there Also drowned while swimming. Decker's death in 1942 was the last big thing to happen there until recently, said Sidor. A Binghamton lawyer had big dreams for the island. He wanted to put up a Native American museum, a hotel, a little bridge, but he decided to run for Congress.
All right, buddy, that's a turn.
Yeah, sure. He had a lot of time on his hands. He had to put it somewhere. Sounds
right.
Like. When his bid failed, he had to trade off the island to dissolve some of his debt. In 1988, the island was put up for auction. Businessmen in Owego heard a gravel pit company wanted to buy the island and rip it apart for gravel, which is what I mentioned earlier. Again, it seems to be a business strategy for the gravel industry. Faced with having the island become just a memory, the group of businesses took the last 6 weeks before the auction and asked the public to donate money. They held fundraisers and had 14 people who mortgaged houses and businesses to help them bid. That's pretty crazy. They had $46,000 and were a little apprehensive when bidding opened at $50,000. The reason they only needed 10% down and decided they would continue to bid. Eventually, it was just them, the historic Owego Marketplace, and the gravel company. The final bid of $351,000 won the island for them. However, it was August 20th, and they needed to have all the money paid by October 20th. Luckily, TV and large-scale newspaper coverage was plentiful, and former residents heard and wanted to help. The group sold 10 square-foot certificates, held dances, and other fundraisers. Donations ended up being more than they needed when they went to pay it off. IBM was a big help, providing a 2-to-1 match of donated funds. IBM, just buy the fucking island for the town. Come on. You got the money.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
We could do that.
The businessman eventually donated the island to Waterman Conservation Center to be treated like a state park. This means there can now be no new building or fires. The land is currently overseen by the Finger Lakes Land Trust. A little happy ending, you know?
I was going to say, a nice button there.
Yeah, that has the makings of like a Hallmark movie. Like there's a meet cute. One person, the guy works for the gravel company. The lady is, small town historian. They got to come to a compromise, and then Jim, let's work on a pitch. We'll
Hollywood's going to eat this up. Netflix is going to love this.
I'm telling you, just Hallmark, low budget. We shoot it on location. In and out, baby. In and out.
Yeah, wrap it and we're good to go. I like it.
Well, hey, speaking of wrapping things, we got to wrap this episode. We're at the end here. We learned a lot about two islands that I knew nothing about before this episode started. I mean, I knew a little bit because of the research, but you
sure.
know. You know.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And again, go check out some pictures of Murphy's Island. The cable car system is crazy. The house looks crazy. It's some cool little rabbit holes to go down. And while you're doing that, you might as well subscribe, rate, and review the show. You got time on your hands if you're looking at pictures of an island you're never going to go to in the middle of a river upstate, right? So help us out. Subscribe, rate, and review. 5 stars helps a lot. Share this episode with a friend. And again, if you write us a few kind words in your review, you can throw in a suggestion for a topic for us to cover on a future episode. All before you buy a t-shirt at understandingupstate.printful.me. Jim.
Yes.
I just threw a lot of recommendations out there, but you got a couple more, I think.
Oh, I do. I do. All right. So here's the deal, folks. Let's say your uncle is like, you know what? Y'all need to come over for dinner. And you're like, well, where do you live? Because you don't know where your uncle lives.
Sure.
And he's like, well, check this out. I live on an island. And you're like, where's the island? And he goes, in the Susquehanna. And he goes, Uncle Murph, are you crazy? And he goes, I'm crazier than a bag of fucking rocks, baby. Get over to this fucking island.
Which he knows bags of rocks pretty well because he's in the gravel industry.
You got it. You saw what I did there. Well, you get over to the island and he's like, hey, do y'all anything we can listen to? I've got my record player here.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
there's also the Liberty Bell that you could listen to.
Yeah, that's going to run out. That's going to be a one note tune there. But what you're able to bring is a copy of my album, Upstate Understandings. It is a comedic endeavor that you want to be a part of. I would definitely go buy it. jimsearch.bandcamp.com is a good place to get it. And I can't speak enough glowing terms of endearment about it. Pure Comedy channel on SiriusXM seems to enjoy it. So you will too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And of course, shout out to my co-host Rob Adler for helping putting that together. And also Matt Ely for shooting that. And Adam Russell for making the art for it. Yeah, go do that. And of course, jimsearchcomedy.com is a place to see all my dates and whatnot. And also Binghamtonians and the surrounding 607 universe. The yearly show, Stellar Human Presents, is coming back. March 27th is the date over at Stellar Human with a Understanding Upstate alum, LaRue, who's going to be hosting us there for giving us the venue for the day. And of course, Stephen Brown is going to be hosting. My good homie, Courtney Farrington's going to be joining me for some jokes. Link's going to be in the show notes. So go buy tickets to get them now so you don't miss out on the fucking show. Understandingupstate@gmail.com is also a place to email us. Rob, they bought tickets to Stellar Human Presents. They bought a copy of my album. They bought a t-shirt, but yet they still have more money to spend. Where on earth can they spend it?
Let's just say you've been invited to dinner, as you said, by your old cousin Bob. You're in from Ireland.
Right.
You're hanging out in Binghamton, taking in all the sights. You were at Rec Park earlier looking at Rod Serling's statue and whatnot. You've arrived at the banks of the river to head on over to dinner, and you've hollered a few times, and you've gotten no response. You keep hollering across the river. This is before cell phones, of course. No response for Bob. You gotta figure out something to do to kill time. You've seen all the sights. You've taken them all in. What are you gonna do? You're gonna throw on my album, New York Sticky, available at brooklynfrequency.com. It's going to give Uncle Bob enough time to hear you shouting. Maybe if you turn it up, crank it. He'll come up like, what is that? What is that pleasing melody? Either way, it's going to help you pass the time. Go grab it. Links in the description for everything we just talked about. Speaking about talking about things, we're going to be talking about something on this podcast next week. Jim, can you give us a hint for what that might be?
Oh, I'll be damned if I do, Rob.
I see.
I'll be damned if I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like it. I've got a little up pun for us to finish the episode here. Are you ready for it, Jim?
I was born ready, man. I was born ready.
Well, Jim, I'm going to be dangling up in the air because I'm about to hop on a gondola to head on over to Murphy's Island. Should we get on out of here?
Let's get it. Understanding Upstate is a podcast hosted by Jim Search and Rob Adler, edited by Rob Adler, and music from Regal Monk.